Hello everybody, welcome to Sunday Apologetics Night Edition, also known as I went to make the video and waited too long into the day to make it edition. Either way, perhaps this perfectly sets the tone because I am going to be telling you a story of maltreatment. People doing things to their kids for unjustifiable reasons. Parents mutilating their kids' genitalia. Or at least that's what Rationality Rules would have you believing. Now, Rationality Rules is a lot like Cosmic Skeptic. Rationality Rules is a lot like Godless Cranium. His content isn't really content I'm going to reply to. It's mostly just meh. It's either a miss or a slightly less miss. None of it really sticks or is anything good that catches my attention. But I figured, I'm going to knock down the atheist YouTubers one by one, respond to at least one of their videos. And I go to Rationality Rules, and he has a video debunking circumcision. He actually made a video before this saying that he was going to be making this video debunking circumcision and debunking some popular arguments around it. Well, he goes on basically to say that doing something for tradition, circumcising your kid traditionally, based on reasons of tradition alone, is not a very good reason to do anything. And he is generally right. But then he goes on to try to debunk the arguments for the medical reasons for circumcision. Circumcision is, of course, a Jewish and Christian practice. I understand there are health benefits to it, and I always thought that's why God told us to do it. But, nonetheless, Rationality Rules disagrees. Without further ado, take it away, Rational.
So let's now move on to the medical arguments for circumcision. What are they? Well, while there are claims that circumcision improves hygiene, decreases the risk of urinary tract infections, and entirely removes the risk of phimosis, the most prominent argument is that circumcision dramatically reduces the risk of penile cancer, and it significantly reduces the risk of HIV.
Okay, I like the way he organized this. He seems to be writing it out. Seems very organized. And I'm going to give him I believe it was the fourth argument that he gave, that it prevents penile cancer. In short, there's no real evidence to support the claim that it promotes or, avoids penile cancer. But pay very close attention to this next bit.
And while we're on the topic of danger, research has shown that circumcision directly causes 1 out of 77 male neonatal deaths in the US per year. This compares with 44 neonatal deaths from suffocation, 8 from automobile accidents, and 115 from sudden infant death syndrome, otherwise known as cot death, which all rightfully arouse deep concern among parents and childcare authorities, but with the exception of circumcision.
What? How could that be? People don't care that children are dying more of circumcisions than automobile accidents? Sudden infant death syndrome? Well, that's probably because they're not. I went ahead and did the most biased research I possibly could for his viewpoint. There's no evidence anywhere I can find except for on this one website that says that circumcisions kill that many children in the U.S. every year. I'm guessing primarily what this website he has is referring to is that someone made an oopsie while the circumcision was being performed, and, the kid dies as a result of the oopsie. If someone dies during open heart surgery, you do not put open heart surgery down as the cause of death. I went to this website to try to get a more in-depth look, And on the same website, on another page that talks about circumcisions, it has a disclaimer on the bottom of it, which pretty much says, don't take our word for anything, go ask an actual physician. I knew this was an Australian website, and you know how Australia is toward, religious matters. But boy oh boy, if you go to the actual website he had in this video, it is worse than a CNN article. You can smell the bias. But they did one thing right. Let's go ask some actual physicians. How about going to the description of the video in Exhibit A and actually reading what some wrote on the medical ethics of circumcisions? And after you do that, head over to Exhibit B, where the risks and the rewards are weighed, and generally, people agree, the risks are in fact worth the rewards. Yes, just like any medical procedure, death can happen if everybody is not careful, the doctors miss something. You do not then blame it on the medical procedure. And I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't care about circumcision. I really don't. But the fact that he just tried to pass off something as being super harmful to children when people do it, all the time, and as well as it's a tradition of my religion. You go into the links, and even the doctors acknowledge that it was probably done back in, when circumcisions were first invented, probably done for health concerns. And they had the rewards for doing it. What he did here is no different from somebody who's trying to make vaccines look bad. And I absolutely wasn't even going to respond to this video, but come on, dude. You're referring to circumcisions as genital mutilation. You want to see genital mutilation, maybe you should look up female genital mutilation in Islam. That's genital mutilation. Going snip snip to remove a little flap of skin on your newborn son's God-given gift is not genital mutilation. If you think circumcision is genital mutilation and that's some kind of horrible mutilating thing, boy oh boy, can't wait till you discover heart surgery. I can't imagine what you think of that. At the end of the day, don't let him scare you with his big talk, because I don't know if you even realized it, but he didn't even address all of the medical arguments for circumcisions. So when he asked us, is the risk worth the rewards, how do we know? We haven't even actually listened to him cover all the rewards. But don't worry, that's what the two links in the description below are for. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with circumcisions. Go ahead and do it if you want. If you're a Christian or religious person, go ahead. If your medical professional says not to, maybe take the advice, don't do it. All in all, there's nothing really wrong with it. Just listen to your doctor's advice and follow through with them on everything. And there's nothing wrong with circumcisions. Don't let this dude sit here and tell you you're the next worst thing for children since Freddy Krueger just because you got your kid circumcised. Having said that, if you are Rationality Rules, or anyone else who thinks that circumcisions is some horrible, mutilating thing, and you're just going to ride in like a knight coming to save us all from our evil, genital mutilating parents, I got two things to say to you. 1, get a hobby. 2, you want to tell me some OBS?